Yeah, good.
So Nathan wants to know, what should one halachically pray as an individual every day?
So here we go.
Oh boy.
Halacha. All right.
He wakes up. The first thing he does, 5:30 in the morning, he wakes up. What does he do?
So washing your hand is not really halachically required right when you wake up. Like, you're supposed to wash your hands before you pray. So some people do it all together, but this is not negovasser. That for sure is made up. Knuckle water is for ruach ra, demons in your fingers. We don't believe in that. There is another notion apart from ruach ra. It's because you're a bria chadasha, because you're a new creation, that you're washing your hands. It's a machloket between the Rosh and the Rashba. Anyways, that you wash your hands before you pray. That's the halacha. You're not supposed to say brachas in the morning like they do nowadays. All the brachas they say like in the beginning of shul, that you're supposed to say it as they occur. Like when you see a woman on the street, it's when you say Shelo Asani Isha. Not like how they lump it in together, like you see all the brachas before you daven.
That makes so much sense. That's like saying you say beret pre hagafen even though you didn't drink wine.
Right.
That doesn't even make it. Yeah, it makes so much sense what you just said.
Also, like Modani is not the first thing you're supposed to say. That
okay.
Elokai Neshama is what you're supposed to say first. But what are you supposed to daven? Let's say when you go to shul, like you don't need a shul to daven. It's great to daven with.
No. This person's asking, as an individual, what should he pray every day? What's his required prayers?
The Shema.
The Shema, definitely. That's biblical, straight up.
Right. Yeah. But that's not considered prayer. I mean, that's like you're announcing it. Prayer is only the Amidah. Whenever it says tefillah in the Talmud or in the Rambam, it only means Amidah. So the Shema, the Amidah.
What about Ashrei Yoshrei? No Ashrei Yoshrei?
That's when you go to the bathroom.
Ashrei
Yatzar.
Oh, Ashrei Yatzar.
But I don't want to break too many people's bubbles here, but last I heard, Ashrei Yatzar is not in the Mishnah. It's a great thing to acknowledge that all your organs are working properly. Never would I tell you not to thank God. I mean, try to thank him constantly. But it's good to know something's in the Mishnah, something's not in the Mishnah, fine. But I'm telling you what the actual halacha is here. Okay, so the Shema, the Amidah, even Tachanun and Nefilat Apayin is more of a minhag also. Like it's not, it seems like it's halacha, but it's not a halacha. All the kadishes, first of all, you're not going to say it alone because you need a minyan. That's not necessarily in the Mishnah. That's later on. It's really in the time of the Geonim. The way it's done nowadays. Jews really pray 5 times a day. I mean, this is where Muslims got it from. So why is it 5 times a day? The first 2 prayers, instances, I don't know, because the Shema is not a prayer. The Shema and the Amidah, that's 2. And then for Mincha, the Amidah. Ashrei is not mandatory. The psalm before, it's customary, it's a nice thing. Then the Shema again, and then the Amidah. That's 5 different times of prayer. There's a different Zman for the Shema and a different Zman for the Amidah. There's 2 different times for it. So it's not the same prayer. We just lump it in together. You could technically pray the Shema without even tefillin on, okay? Go to bed, wake up later and do the Amidah. Then there's the Amidah for Mincha, because Mincha and Marv are not necessarily supposed to be together. This is why, like, when they pray Mincha in a shul, right when they pray the Amidah, they'll have like a Devar Torah to show that there's a distinction. You're not supposed to go straight through. There has to be something in between. But we lump it in together because people come back from work and it's around 7 or 6, depending on the time of the year, and they just want to get it over with. So they'll daven Mincha and Marv together. But that's it. Just think of those 5 times. Shema, Amidah, Amidah, Shema, and Amidah. That is what you're supposed to do according to Jewish law. And that's it. And don't forget, according to Halakha, you also have to read the Torah during the week, not including Shabbos, twice, and then on Shabbos. That is something you should also do even without a minyan. Also, you're supposed to study it in the common tongue. The later understanding by the Amoraim was that the common tongue was Aramaic, and then they sort of elevated the Targum Onkelos as the actual text. But if you do it in your common tongue, you fulfill twice in Hebrew and 1 in Aramaic, not including the Torah reading, that you could daven Shachris in like 15 minutes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Samson says Rabbi Asher is continuing the work of Abraham, our father. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for that statement. That's a beautiful statement. There's nothing really out in the comments, so we're just here. Thank you for coming. We got JF, John from Pennsylvania.
There's a big rabbi who passed away this week. Before I forget, I have to mention it. He was a rationalist rabbi. He was probably one of the more well-known rationalist rabbis. His name was Rabbi Jose Faur. I think he was originally from Argentina, but he's a Syrian Jew who I was not a fan of, by the way. I mean, I'm acknowledging him because we agree in most things, but he supported the Takana.
Oh, boy.
So most people don't know that Argentinians are, I'm sorry, not Argentinians. I mean, it started in Argentina, but the Syrians, they've outlawed conversions. So they don't accept converts no matter who converted you. And actually started in Argentina by Syrian Jews. But anyways, he is one of the more influential rabbis in the rationalist movement. And I've learned a lot from him throughout the years. There's a lot of audio lectures. Well, there aren't too many, but there's enough to give you a good grounding on it. The website where you could find his audio is Moreshet Sefarad, I believe. MoreshetSefarad.org. If you guys are trying to find other rationalist rabbis, that's definitely one person to go to. He has also a lot of books he has written. Other rationalist rabbis are, like I said, Rabbi David Bar Chaim, Rabbi Chaim Ovadia.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. Jessic has his hand raised. Brother, how's you doing? How you doing? Kansas City, represent.
Yeah. So, how y'all doing tonight? I'm enjoying. Oh man, I'm vastly enjoying the just the knowledge I'm receiving from this. Sorry, it's dark outside. Yeah. But
Rabbi's bringing the heat, huh? So
yeah, man.
But put one hand on your TV screen and one hand on your wallet, because God's gonna bless your finances today, brother. All
right. Seriously, what's a good question tonight?
All right. So, I've talked to John. He knows my past, and just the process I've been going, about my relationship with Hashem. And so basically, I want to ask you this. Is a two-part question. So I was going through a conversion process online. I already know. Yeah, horrible, right? So they're charging like $1,500. And it's just crazy thing. And at the end, it's like you have to choose like between reform and conservative. I know I'm not reform. I know that for a fact. I'm very quite radical when it comes to the Torah.
Wait.
Like,
let me interject here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually have a mitzvah of not walking idly in the blood of your neighbor. So I think it's important for you to let people know the name of this organization, for them not to fall into this trap of having to pay all this money and then given the choice to convert between reform and conservative.
Yeah. So it was online. It was Make Me Jewish, and which is, I know, super cheesy and horrible. Horrible. But yeah. But I was going through them for a little bit, and the video, they just had these videos, and they're just like really horrible, like basic 101 that you can find on Wikipedia. And so yeah, I just wanted to know your opinion a little bit on the whole online conversion thing. Funny enough, I talked to someone about conversion, a friend of mine in New York, and they brought your name up for conversion, that you do conversion. And it's funny enough that, hey, now I'm on a little video thing with you. So,
famous.
Yeah. So.
Is there a mikvah involved in this conversion?
I would have to go out to LA for it. Right now it's not really possible, but yeah, there is a mikvah, but it's just, so it was interesting.
I mean, apart from having to pay $1,500, what, a month? So we said?
Oh man. Yeah. Well, no, it's over the course. I just wanted to know what your opinions are about online. Like, is that like, I don't know. I don't even know what denomination I'd be considered.
I guess maybe the question should be, what's a reasonable price to charge if you're going to do an online conversion?
Yeah.
First of all, there's no such thing really as a fake conversion, unless you have a woman involved in it. Just because according to halacha, like, a woman can't be an aide, it can't be a witness. The people in the Beit Din are related. That would nullify it to a certain extent, because b'diavad, the conversion is still valid if two people witness it instead of three. So if two people are related, you can still hold a witness on one of them. And there's certain things that disqualify a witness. Being Mechalel Shabbat is one, being a gambler is another one. Now, that notion of being a gambler has been reinterpreted to mean something else, just because, I don't know. it. I guess too many people gamble. I mean, I ride a motorcycle. That's a gamble. Besides that, if it's a conversion that will help you, because again, conversion has nothing to do with spirituality. You, in God's eyes, are already part of that covenant. You are Israel in God's eyes, but you are not Israel in the eyes of Israel. You understand? So the state of Israel actually recognizes conservative conversions and even reform conversions. However, the conservative conversion would have to be done through the rabbinical assembly, which is the baked in of the conservative movement. And you can make aliyah, and then that could help you later on get an Orthodox conversion, because you can upgrade your conversion when you get to Israel. Doors will open. I don't know enough about Reform Judaism to know who in Reform has the authority to convert and be accepted by the state of Israel. I'm not against someone paying $2,000 to convert with an online Orthodox conversion program if there's going to be a conversion at the end. You understand? You know, I'm telling you, $2,000 is nothing compared to what you're going to be getting back once you enter the Jewish community. That means that if they're going to give you a conversion that's recognized by the state of Israel and recognized by the vast majority of synagogues, then $8,000 is worth it. The problem I have is with people charging you any money for a conversion that's not recognized by everyone. For that, you could just convert by me. And I'll tell you off the bat that my conversions aren't recognized by everybody. Fine. But I'm not going to charge you. So these guys are trying to retire off of it. And that's what's dishonest. So as long as a conversion will help you, then it's worth the money.
Yeah.
No matter how stupid the classes may be, because I think the classes of any conversion class are going to be frustrating to anyone who, one, that has a biblical background, whether he's Christian or that he's inquisitive and he likes to learn and he attends my classes or other rabbis' classes online. It's because like rabbis think that you guys don't know anything. You know, so they're like, this is a challah and this is a bagel. Like, who cares about these things? You want the meat, you know, like give me the loot.
So so how many lessons there should be, and what should the lessons consist of then? What's your recommendation for a good kosher program?
So the Rambam quotes what appears in Yevamot 47. Shulchan Aruch just reiterates the Rambam in Yeridea, that you tell the convert some of the light mitzvot and some of the heavy mitzvot, the punishments for breaking those mitzvot, like Shabbat, not leaving peah, the gleanings of the field, and that's it. And then he says that you tell this to the person a second time when he's already standing in the water. So this is not a 1-year conversion program where you guys learn more than the rabbi knows, right? And that's clearly not what you're in now, because they're teaching you like super basic stuff. That's like, you know, that's someone basically telling you that.
You're basically saying, Rav, that it should be like at least I don't know, a 2-week study session with the rabbi and a conversion.
It's 1 day.
1 day, yeah. Right. Well, they'll say, well, some of the light mitzvah. Okay, maybe we'll do a class on, what's a light mitzvah? I don't know, tying the fill-in or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like maybe that could be the regiment. Like maybe you have 4 or 5 meetings with the Rav. You learn how to tie. Yeah, and you go. Well, I'm trying to be reasonable. No.
Some people will say, forget about being reasonable. You have to go by what the halakha says. The halakha says that you inform him a second time when he's already standing in the water. That means your second interaction with him regarding Torah matters is already naked in the water. So it's not. Don't try to be reasonable.
Okay, so theoretically speaking, then literally a 1-day meeting session. You meet with the rabbi once. He teaches you how to tie the fill-in, and then the next day he's dunking you. I'm trying to break it down. You meet with the rabbi once. He meets with you. He's going over some of the light biblical mitzvahs. Great, I got it. Okay, tomorrow we'll meet at 7th Avenue with the mikvahs. We're dunking you. That's basically what we're coming to say.
I'm just telling you what the source material says. Okay. Now, if a rabbi wants to embellish it and make it take a little longer,
well, that's what I was getting at. Like, if we're gonna do the embellishment thing, what exactly would that? What exactly would a reason? What's reasonable? we're giving people a reasonable, we have Rabbi Dror now who's giving conversion classes. Now his comes with an actual conversion. Then you have people like Rabbi Hoffman. This Ganav, he'll take you for everything and not even give you a conversion. So what's a reasonable for people who are listening?
Here, look.
How many times should I meet? What am I learning? Okay, do I get a mikvah at the end? Do I get a
reasonable? As long as you get the conversion done. But like I said, if it's a conversion that's accepted by everyone, it'll be worth you spending 10 years to convert because you're going to end up as a Jew. Okay. That's the goal. If being Jewish is the key, and it's clearly the key. I mean, I converted 20 years ago. Many doors have opened. My kids are in Orthodox schools. I wouldn't change his life for anything. I mean, but I wish the people were sweeter. Fine. I can't say that what's reasonable. I know what the halacha says. My job as a rabbi is to tell you what the law says. None of these guys ever, when they're teaching about conversion, ever quote exactly what the law says.
So right there, that's a good answer. That would be answering my question. So if I'm in a conversion class and this Rav is not giving me any of the source material, I should want my money. I should get my money back. I should go look for someone else.
You're not supposed to be studying rabbinic literature in a conversion class according to the halacha. You're studying mitzvot. It says nothing about it's because these conversion classes take a year, 2 years, and I'll tell you 80% of what they teach you is Kabbalah. But they teach you laws of Lashon Hara, like, okay.
There you go. Okay, boom. You got Okay, we're breaking it down. Okay, yeah, I get you. I'm just trying to break it down, in a nice little package with a bow on top.
If you guys know the source material,
right,
you could confront every rabbi, any rabbi that you're paying money to, and say, look, if the law is telling you to do this, why are you doing that? And see what they say.
So a conversion class, in your opinion, is not necessarily studying to be a Rav. It's more like, what exactly are you trying to say? I mean,
all the studying is supposed to occur after you convert, not before. Every instance, we started off this class talking about Hillel.
I get what you're trying to say. You're basically saying you're told what exactly Torah is, the definition of Torah, and you dunked, and then now you're studying Torah. That's I get what you're trying to say.
We started this class.
That's a 180, Rav. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to get to that. That's a good
class,
answer. Yeah.
Speaking about how Hillel accepted converts, and this is the only instance we have clearly of a gadol accepting someone who converts, and this is very impressive.
I'm going to be honest with you, Rav. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think that's. Oh, you don't know what Torah is? Let me tell you what Torah is. Oh, great! Now I'll dunk you, convert you, teach you Torah. I don't think that's ever going to be set up like that ever.
Well, I'll tell you, it happens. It happens once every month in South Florida on my.
Amen.
Okay,
amen.
So, but the instance with Hillel, the three instances some say it was the same guy who came to convert. It says that he converts them first and then he teaches them. Why? One, there is a rabbinic law that a Gentile is not supposed to study Torah, which makes sense, lest he gets the wrong idea studying Torah alone without proper guidance. Right? Torah in terms of practical, not the ethical parts. The ethical parts, I think, are universal and they speak to everybody. But clearly, if you expect someone to study Torah alone and then come to convert, that guy's going to come with such weird ideas. They're going to be like, Rabbi Reuven's my rabbi, Rabbi Mizrahi's my rabbi. Asher Meza says that. No, if you want him to be part of your community, what you have to do is convert him right away, and then you teach him. That's it. That's the most practical thing. But thank God for source material. Thank God people aren't allowed to just make stuff up. I mean, they do it anyways, but if we didn't have anything to go by, we could never make things better. All you guys right now could open up Surah Bia, chapter 14 of the Rambam. Shulchan Aruch Yeridea was Siman 267. Yevamot 57. Take it to the rabbi and say, this is what the halacha is. I remember I had an interview with Rabbi David Bar Chaim. So we agree on a lot, but we don't agree on the treatment of converts.